NXT had its hottest opening in history tonight when Kendall Gray walked out with Ren Sinclair. I can't believe the top Kendall Gray was wearing. I'm surprised they even allowed her to wear that. Holy fuck, she was insanely sexy tonight. And she always looks good, but my god, that top. You know, Kendall Gray she has everything. She's beautiful, not just beautiful, she's drop dead gorgeous. Look at her. She's great in the ring, is a very good promo, has charisma, is likable, has a great look. She has everything. I don't think for the woman I've seen such a sure thing since maybe Bianca Belair. I mean, Charlotte Flair and Bianca Belair were the two ones watching them NXT. I knew they were going to be big stars in the main roster. That was obvious. Kendall Gray is up there, maybe even more so. That's how high I am on her right now. She has everything, man. It's really something else to watch. You just look at her; she is a star. But she wasn't wrestling. She came out to accompany Ren Sinclair, who was also looking really good tonight, as she took on Kalani Jordan, who was also looking really good tonight. As was the referee Vicky, the blonde chick. So a lot of good-looking chicks involved in the opening match. But you got Kendall Gray, Ren Sinclair opening the matchup tonight. Or not Kendall Gray, Kalani Jordan, Ren Sinclair. And, there was happy birthday chants for Ren, I believe. I don't know whose birthday it was, but Kendall, I had my eyes on her. Whenever they would have Kalani interact with her, they'd put the camera on her, and like, oh my god. I can't tell you how good that top looked on her tonight, how good she looked tonight. It's like, wow. Anyway, Kalani and Ren, I thought, had a decent matchup. I thought they told a good story. The whole thing was Kalani working on Ren's knee, and Ren just took a lot of abuse. Kalani used a lot of different creative holds to work on the knee, rough it up, hurt her knee, and eventually she made Kendall tap out with I don't know the exact submission hold. I mean, it's unfortunate the announcers don't know the submission hold either, but Kalani got Kendall. Can't stop saying Kendall. I'm sorry. Kalani got Ren to tap out. She won the match, as she should. And then they're teasing something with Kalani and Kendall in the future. I think that's where they're heading, but Kalani got the win in this match with the submission hold. Tatum Paxley and Lizzie Dane were talking backstage after Zari attacked them last week. And then that loser bomb Shiloh Hill, whatever his fucking name is, walked in. He sucks. He's such an idiot. He's goofy. He's just some NIL idiot who they're trying to portray as like this low IQ idiot hillbilly. Like, he's so fucking bad at it. He's not believable. He's just some NIL douchebag jock. That's all he is. He's not this country guy, like this lovable country guy like Uncle Omer or something. He's just a jock. Like, I don't buy him for a second. Christian Angels walked in. Jimmy Seville, whatever his fucking name is, he walked in. I don't care. And there was so much, NXT, but if it wasn't for Kendall Gray, I would have hated this show because there was so much talking backstage, and it's one thing if you want to have so many segments. The issue is you have so many of them that, like, the people can't act, they can't talk, they can't cut promos, and it drags on for an eternity. Some of those backstage segments tonight were dreadful. They were hard to sit through. So many of them were awful. And Charlotte Hill is so overly featured. It's like he's the Solo Sikoa of NXT. Dark State was out next, and there's a reason why I watch on delay. There's always the fast forward button whenever Dark State's out, and that's what I used for this. Ren was in the doctor's office, and we got to see Kendall. Oh my god, her top. Have I gooned enough to Kendall Gray's top? I'm sorry, but geez, she deserves it. That's how good she looked tonight. But Lola Vice walked in, and they teased tension with Lola and Kendall. Then some other chick walked in. I don't know who she is, but Lola and Kendall, I'd like to see that definitely in the future. We had Shawn Legacy and DVD went to a time limit draw. This was, of course, a speed match, speed tournament. We saw Natty talking to Layla Diggs backstage. Jada Parker was out next, and Layla Diggs came out, and Natty was accompanying her, and we got that match, Jada Parker against Layla Diggs. So Layla, definitely I can see. She looks good, by the way. Has a great ass, I have to say. But Layla Diggs, I look at her, I almost think she has more potential than Jada Parker does. I don't know what's happening with Jada, but I've completely soured on her. And I think NXT management has as well. You know what? I'm not sure she's going to even make it to the main roster. But then again, she's with Jey Uso. She's the Yeet woman. Maybe that's why, because I don't like Jey Uso. Found out they're together. I don't like her now, but I don't know. But yeah, Jada Parker, I used to be a big fan of. Not anymore. But Layla Diggs, Definitely, I can tell she's heavily inspired by Bianca Belair and maybe Sasha Banks. I can see that. Definitely, I'm sure she was a fan of either one of the two. That's who she modeled her look after, and I can see that. But Jada won. She won with the Deja Vu. I don't care about Natty and Jada. I don't care to see that match. Lexis King was interviewed by Blake Howard of Birthright, and I don't care. Fraxium walked in. They're doing nothing with Fraxium. Just let them go to AEW, seriously. Tony D'Angelo was out next. He was interrupted by Naraku. He wants Tony to stay champion because he wants to beat him, and then he's interrupted by this fucking Cam Hendricks bomb, this loser. I think that's, what's her name? Maxine Dupree's husband, I'm pretty sure. Maybe not, but he sucks. Stop fucking pushing this NIL bullshit. Who cares about Cam Hendricks? He's shit. Anyway, I don't like his wife either. I'm sick of her getting all these opportunities, and she's awful. Ugh, they're going to fucking put her, of all people, she's going to be the first Paul Heyman girl for all these fucking years, Maxine Dupree, but I don't want to talk about Raw right now. And the fucking cursed Vision. And it's not good for Maxine to be in the Vision, then she'll get hurt. So I don't want to see Maxine in the Vision because I'm not a big fan of hers, but I don't want to see her hurt. Can't say the same thing about Cam Hendricks. I'm just joking. Anyway, Darkseid attacked Malsborn and Tavion Heights backstage. Vanity Project were walking backstage. Just too much talking. Too many backstage segments. It was insane. The amount of backstage segments. Like, who's writing this NXT show? It's becoming shit again. It's like, it was getting better once they got rid of all the bad parts of NXT. I mean, we don't have to see any more of these, some of those NIL losers, like Jasper Troy and Josh Briggs. And we still have to see Darkseid, but there's no more JC Jane as champion. Thank God. And thankfully, we don't have to see Ava anymore. So a lot of the worst parts of NXT are gone. But there's still a lot of issues watching it. Anyway, the Vanity Project walked into the Tate guy. I don't really care. Nathan Frazier and Romeo Monroe was next. Monroe won. I don't give a fuck about this speed match. Nico Vance and Izzy Dame were backstage. They were arguing. Both of them were upset with Sean Spears. Robert Stone talked to Mason Rook backstage. The mass transit Mason Rook. I'll say something about him. At least when he's on screen, I'm not completely tuning out. Maybe it's just I'm shocked that they signed this fat ass. But Naraku stood up to him. I don't care to see this. Like, whatever. I'm sure this Evil wrestled this guy, Will Cruz. That was his name on the Indies. Mason Rook. They probably, I don't know if they've seen their cross paths before, but whatever. Too many backstage segments. That was the biggest issue with tonight. I did not like tonight's show. I thought it was pretty bad. I liked the opening with the woman, and I liked the closing with the woman. I liked the main event and the opening match. The middle was just dreadful to watch. But it was bookended by two good women's matches. As usual, the women stand out in NXT. What else is new? NXT has historically been carried by the woman. Except during the black and gold time. That time from like 20, when they called up all the women. The Four Horsewomen and all the women attached them during that era were called up, and then Asuka left, and that was the time when the women's division wasn't the greatest because that's when they pushed Shayna, and that was definitely the time when the men were better. But for most of NXT's history, since it's gone to the Performance Center, and since it's aired as its own separate show since like 2013 or so, or 2012, more time for most of the years, the women have been the better of the two divisions. The women have been the stars, but. You had Sean Spears attack OTM with the chair as they were making their entrance. I think that match just got cut for time. Sean Spears and Nico Vance against OTM. Sarah Schreiber interviewed Callie Armstrong backstage, and there was a whole bunch of women walking out of the locker room behind her, which was distracting. Thea Hale said something to her. I like Thea's new look, but I don't know if she's really going to get a push at this point in NXT. She's been there for a while. You got that idiot Charlotte Hill talking to Zarya. You had Charlotte Hill against Charlie Dempsey. Stupid NIL bullshit. Charlotte Hill won. Then Trish and Angels walked out. I don't give a fuck. And then Izzy Dame and Nico Vance were upset with Sean Spears. And then the Culling make their entrance. Then they preview next week's show. Lola Vice was out next. Got a nice pop. We got our main event, the NXT Women's Championship. Lola Vice defending against Izzy Dame. So OTM takes out the Culling, gets them out of the match. And then you had Izzy accidentally take out the ref, but then she used it to her advantage when she got hit with the spinning back fist by Lola, but because the ref was down for so long, Izzy kicked out. It was a delayed pinfall. Later, Izzy gets the title belt in the ring. She throws at Lola Vice, and Izzy kicks the belt into Lola Vice's face. It looks like she might win the belt, but Lola kicks out. Eventually, Lola hits a second spinning back fist. This time, the referee is not down. He's has all his senses. He's good, and Lola hit the second spinning back fist. 1, 2, 3. Lola Vice defeats Izzy Dame, retains the NXT Women's Championship as she should have. That's how NXT ended, except then we had a stupid Dark State promo to end NXT. Fuck Dark State, they suck. But that was NXT. I did not like the show. I loved Kendall Gray in her top, and I liked Kalani Jordan against Ren Sinclair, and I liked the main event a lot with Lola Vice and Izzy Dame. The middle of the show was horrible. The women are great. Women always have been carried NXT. The middle portion of the show I did not like, and there's just too many backstage segments, and it feels like NXT is reverting to some of the big issues I had with it like 6 months ago, because I think the show's improved, but now we're going back to all the issues, just too many backstage segments, too much of it, and like no one can cut a promo. It dragged the show on for too long. I don't like how the show went off tonight, but I did like the opening and closing matches, so I did like the woman tonight, especially Kendall Gray in her top.